incredibly stunning statistics that came out yesterday morning, just before this show began, from the Home Office about migration, because some of the numbers on these reports are quite staggering. But what they don't tell you is the hidden meaning of, say, for example, 3.2 million visas being issued, you know, to people to come here in 2022. I understand that a lot of those will be holiday tourist visas. I get that. However, that's not simply the answer, because my view would be that a lot of those people coming here with visas to travel on holiday will probably stay.
Yeah, and the big record numbers that we've been seeing in recent years, Mike, have huge consequences. So what the Home Office figures will give you a little bit of an insight as to, you know, it'll be several more months later now where the ONS will tell us what's the net immigration figures for 2023. So that'll take a while, because we're only pretty much halfway through the year now, and there's a bit of a time lag for the ONS to do it all. But what the Home Office figures will do is it'll give you that quick snapshot insight as to where we're heading. So when you have all of these visas, and I think, again, some high numbers of student visas are going in there, and to the family members as well.
Yeah.
That's one of the things Sunak says he's going to crack down on, but not quite yet. There'll be a bit of a time lag there. You get record levels of immigration, and we saw huge numbers net last year. And what does this mean, Mike? Well, the one stark fact that it clearly affects is this isn't just a recent phenomenon. We've had huge levels of immigration, you know, for 25 years. In 1997, Mike, if you compare the average house price to the average wages, the house price was about 3.5 times your average kind of, you know, wages to house prices. In 2022, it was 8.2 times.
Yeah.
So you just think now, if you're a young person coming through, you've got absolutely no chance of getting on the housing ladder. And that's the big consequence of having lots of immigration, but no government policy to build the infrastructure to cope with it.
No, and I get reports all the time from all around the country, a lot more in England than perhaps in Wales and Scotland and Ireland, but people saying, oh, there's a new housing development going up, you know, X number of houses have been reserved for asylum seekers. Now, those could be Ukrainian asylum seekers, they could be Hong Kong asylum seekers, but they could also be asylum seekers who have come from other countries. And I think people genuinely, particularly when they see housing association properties being given away to people from elsewhere, they get wound up. They go, well, what about us?
Yeah, and we've talked in the past about Serco, Mike, having these housing events across the country where they'll take a house, they'll kind of give the rent for 5 years to the landlord, and they'll fix any repairs, they'll pay the council tax, they'll pay all the bills. You know, it's a very good business model for Serco. And the stuff that came out again yesterday, Mike, is the total number of people coming across. Just, you know, we've talked about the legal numbers there, the illegal numbers that are coming across the on this channel, and they've been going up and up and up and up. And I think we've got a graph I pulled together for you, Mike, that kind of shows the total number of migrants that have been coming across. And we've now hit, with the latest data up to yesterday, 104,290 migrants have come across now since the start of 2018. There's very few in the first couple of years. I think there's only, yeah, you can see this chart here, Mike.
I mean, that is like the old stairway to hell, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and for people listening on the radio, it's basically a chart just showing it's hardly any in the first couple of years. And then since pretty much the COVID pandemic has hit, they've just gone up and up and up and up. And what's kind of striking in all of this, Mike, is that, so the 2023 numbers, Sunak says he's going to stop the boats. They're down slightly on 2022. Some factors there might be the weather as well, Mike. You know, we haven't had as good a summer as we had last.
Well, July wasn't great, was it? Whereas last July was very, very hot and very kind of calm, whereas this July it was quite stormy and windy, wasn't it?
Yeah, and even August hasn't been great, Mike. Yeah. So we're probably still heading towards 35 to 40,000. But one of the things that I was looking into the figures this morning, just looking and comparing this year to last year, because remember Sunak says he's got this deal with Albania, where there'll be rapid movement back of Albanians coming across. Well, what's quite striking, if we look at the 6 months, January to June 2022, we had about 7.8% of all those coming across. We didn't know their nationality. So that's probably papers being thrown away. You can't recall what their nationality are. We don't know where they come from. 6 months to 2023, Mike, that 7.8% is now 35%, a fourfold increase. So the question here is, are Albanians getting around Sunak's new policy by just chucking away their documents so they can't be deported rapidly? You know, these things need looking into.
Absolutely right. And I'm just going to remind you again to go back to that business of the 3.2 million overall. And we include in that 1.2 million, I think, of student visas and work visas specifically, right? So that leaves, let's say it leaves 2 million. Now, I'm just going to give you a taste of the countries that you need a visa from to come here on holiday. And you tell me whether you think this might be leading to some people coming from these countries and staying. Afghanistan, Algeria, Angola, Bangladesh, Burundi, Cameroon, Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Dominica, Egypt, Eritrea, Ethiopia, Gambia, Ghana, Guinea, Honduras, India, Iran, Iraq, Ivory Coast, Kenya. Now that just gets us up to the L's, and we get Lebanon, Lesotho, Liberia and Libya. Now, are you telling me that people from those countries are not coming here on holiday visas and staying?
Yeah, something's not going right in this system, Mike.